Hey everybody, welcome to another video. So I wanted to give a life update on just what's been happening. It's been since May since I did an update. I think it's been since May. So I finally got answered to my hearing. I would like to talk about that and just some other interesting things that happened in my life. So first thing is I got approved for dog number 2. That was in May. I have mixed feelings about it. I'm excited. I would like to, meet dog number 2, but I'm also a little bit, upset, like sad, because that means Beacon's gonna retire. So that carries a lot of weight for me. But I have had a couple months to come to terms with it and just release all the sadness, because Beacon's been a really good dog. She's gonna be 9 in October, and it's time, like she still wants to work, and she would work till she couldn't, honestly. But I had to make that decision that whenever God says dog number 2 is coming, if she is still working at the time, which who knows how long that could take. The waiting list is currently 2 years, but it could be longer. Could be shorter. You never know. So if she's still working, that would be my sign to retire her. And she's still working, but she's getting older. She's not as enthusiastic about guiding as she was when she was a puppy. But she can still keep up with me life-wise. There are some things I don't take her to now because it's really hot. In the summer it's been really hot. It's been like 100 something on occasion. So I don't take her to those kind of things. But I don't know if I would take a young dog either. Like that's a lot. She's on joint supplement now, which is helping her legs, her arthritis. Well, other than that, like she's still guiding really well. So part 1 of the update is I got a new dog number 2. I got approved for that. So dog number 2 will be coming in the future of these videos. Update number 2 is that so rewind back to middle of July. So I was going on a trip for the Occupational Therapy Board, NBCOT, and I was going to Virginia, a different place than I was last year for the meeting. This is the Accessibility Committee meeting, so we work on testing accessibility and just like helping them make their website and products more user-friendly and accessible to everyone, despite their disability, or just usability, which is for any person. They don't have to have a disability necessarily to be to make it more user-friendly. So this meeting, so the one in October I went to last year, it was terrible. The meeting was great. Nothing was wrong with the meeting. But me, personally, I was not in a good space. I was struggling to hear. I was pretending like I could do everything just fine. And it was not pleasant. That's why I went to Leader Dog in March. And so this time I was like, I got this. It's going to be my first trip by myself with hearing loss now. Now it's more pronounced. And I'm going to ask for help. And oh my gosh, guys, like I did. And it was amazing. I got an ear infection the week before that, before I was supposed to leave. So the ear infection finally went away about 2 weeks ago, I'd say. It was like a 3-week-long infection. It was insane. Started in the first week of July. Actually, like the first day of July, because I felt really crappy, and I was like, what's wrong with me? And then I went to the trip on the 16th and came back on the 19th and still had the ear infection. So that was rough. So I asked for help, and I received it in abundance. The people were very nice. They were very professional. And like, honestly, guys, like the thing that was most awesome to me was that I was included. That doesn't happen a lot in my life. I'm a very outgoing person. I like talking to people, but not all people are comfortable with blind people or disabled people as a whole. And so like this group was very accepting. We went to a bar, okay? Like, y'all know I don't go to bars. I don't feel comfortable in bars. I don't feel safe in bars. But this one I felt safe because my whole group was around me. I was like, okay, if I need to go to the hotel, I can get an Uber. I'm in a safe place. I can leave. And guys, like I tell you, when I walked on the street with these people, Beacon was like a whole new dog. She's like, let me turn on the turbo jets. Let's go. And like she was like 2 blocks ahead of everybody. And I was like, Beacon, I appreciate your speed, but I don't know where we're going. So like let's wait a minute because I don't know where we're going. This is a whole new part of the country. um, we did karaoke, which was amazing. By the way, I highly recommend karaoke. It's fun, even if you're not drunk, because, karaoke. And, like, no one cares. Like, they're not going to judge you if you sound bad. Or if you forget the words. I forgot half the words. I got up there and I was like, uh, pause. But it was fun. We did a group karaoke, so, yeah. So, I asked for help. Beacon learned where my room was in the hotel a lot easier this time. I got lost every time I went to the conference area because it was huge, so I asked for help and I received it. My flight from hell, as my seatmate termed it. So we had to go through Atlanta to get back to my home airport, and so I was by myself, which is me and Beacon, and my flight got delayed like 30 minutes, so I'm like waiting at the airport. I'm like, can we get on the plane now? Like, let's go. So we get on the plane. They're like, okay, there's a tornado in Atlanta, storm or something, but they said it was like severe storm. So like, we're gonna make you all sit in this plane for an hour, but we're not gonna do anything. And I'm like, and the person next to me was like, do you need to take your dog to poop? And I was like, honestly, yes, because I took her like at 11. This is like 1 now. But I said, I don't want to get off the plane because what if they leave without me? And they were like, they'll let you off. They won't let you back on. And I was like, I need to go home. Like, I want to go home. My brain is tired. It was fun. The trip was amazing, but it was just exhausting just with the sound, and I had a current ear infection going on at the same time. So my brain was not processing sound as it should have. So we're still waiting on the plane, still waiting. And then like another hour goes by and they're like, yeah, so like it'll be a bit, we'll let you know, so we get off the plane. I took her to the bathroom, came back to the gate, they still were waiting. We finally got to leave. My flight home was supposed to leave at 2. We didn't get into Atlanta until like 5. No, wait, I'm sorry, not 5. It was, I think it was like 7 or 8, one of those times. It was like really late. So I was like, oh no, I missed my connecting flight. And like, I was like terrified. And the person next to me was a therapist, and she was like, this is okay. This is just testing your resilience. You got it. And I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I don't want to be in a hotel by myself in a big city, and like there's people everywhere, and I'm already stressed out because I maxed out my brain capacity for listening to sounds over the weekend. So I was tired. So then we got to the gate of Atlanta, and the person that pushes the wheelchairs, they refused to help me because I wouldn't take the wheelchair. And I was like, I still need assistance, but like, I don't need a chair because, well, one is a safety thing because they don't watch where they're going, and so they don't look down and see dog paws. So even if I could take the chair, I would be very skeptical because how quickly they use the things, they don't really watch, and I don't want Beacon to get hurt because, she's my guide dog, and I'd rather fly home with a not-injured guide dog. So anyway, I get to the like outside the jet bridge, and I'm like, hey, can someone help me? And they're like, yeah, I guess. And I'm like, okay, I need to go to the dog relief area, and then I need to go to the train to catch my flight, the underground train, which is, well, it's not really it might be underground, I don't know. It's in the airport, but like it's on like the lower level of the airport. I don't know, it's very confusing, but anyway. So I get to the relief area, and the lady's like, okay, so I can't help you anymore. I'm not allowed to leave the terminal. And I said, okay, can you find someone that can? And she goes, yeah, I guess. So I get to this office that she leaves me in, and like people are just eating chips, hanging out, whatever. And I'm like, hello, can someone help me get to my flight? I'm gonna miss it. Like, I need to go home. I've been in Atlanta for like probably an hour at this point, and I said, I've been waiting, no one's coming. And they were like, you don't have to be rude about it. And I was like, I'm not being rude, I need to get to my flight. Like, it leaves. Like, my phone is like, ding, ding, my flight's leaving in 10 minutes. Like, we gotta go. And they were like, well, you had help from the people at the gate. And I said, no, I didn't. I said, they refused to help me because I didn't use a wheelchair. They said, yeah, I doubt that happened. And I'm like, that's one thing that grinds my gears the most. If someone calls me a liar, I'm like, excuse you, no. So, I got irked by that. And I was like, I'm not lying about it. But seriously, can someone help me find my gate? Like, I need to go. I need to pre-board, and I can't pre-board because my flight's boarding now, and they're going to close the door, and I'm going to be stuck in Atlanta. And I can't do that. I have to go home because the next day I had an ENT appointment. So, finally I get this guy, and, like, he helped me, and he was grumbling about it, and he's guiding me through the airport, and he's like, At this point, I took his arm because sensory overload in the airport. Like Atlanta is like major sensory overload for me. So we get like maybe like 20 steps away, and he's like, "Oh, I don't want to do this. I'm bored. Here's blah blah. They can help you." And I'm like, "Okay, hi blah blah. Like I guess you're helping me find my gate." And so he was like, he's just talking about what happened, and he's like, they're not like employees of Delta. They're contracted out through Delta, the airline they flew with. So like, don't complain to Delta. And I was like, who am I supposed to complain to then? Because like that's their job, is to assist passengers with disabilities. And I wasn't asking for anything like extreme. I was just saying, hey, I need assistance to my flight, to my gate, because I don't know where I'm going. So we get to the elevator, we get to the train. He was really good though. I was like, I need to hold onto a pole. I have balance issues that are making it worse because the train is moving. So we get to the gate finally, and he's like, okay, you're fine. They've been delayed 20 minutes. And I'm like, thank you, God, for making that delay, because I would not have made the flight. So we get on the flight, and we made it home at 11 p.m. Eastern time, and my brain was like, good night, I'm sleeping. So then the next day was a Monday, and I went to an ENT. This is like ENT number 10 or 9, or I don't know, I lost count somewhere in between. And guys, like, let me tell you, he was crazy. He tried to hit on me, and like I was very uncomfortable because I don't like, I'm very uncomfortable with men in my space still. Like, depending on the man, like my dad's fine. I love my dad. But like other than that, it's like no. So this doctor was like, you look really beautiful, and like your face is beautiful, and just like all these things. And I was like, sure, I'm very uncomfortable. Like, what the heck? And I was like, I want to leave, but I want to know what he has to say. And so like everything I said, he was like, so first off, I was like, yeah, they said I have some vestibular dysfunction because my balance is messed up. And he goes, well, you can't have that because the room doesn't spin in circles. And I was like, it doesn't spin in circles. It shifts from side to side, left to right. And he was like, yeah, but you can't have anything vertigo or balance related unless it's spinning in circles. And I was like, okay, whatever. So then I said, okay, well, they also said I might have dehiscence, which is a hole in the inner ear. And he was like, yeah, you can't have that either because you don't have hearing loss, because I did this hearing test too. And then it was like every condition I was saying, he was like, no, you can't have that. And like he told me that I can't have dehiscence because it's brain surgery, which technically it is not. It's opening up the skull and patching the hole where there shouldn't be a hole. It's not, it doesn't, they don't go into your brain at all. If they do, then they've made a mistake. But I'm like, sir, I understand how fixing superior semicircular canal dehiscence actually works, but like, if it's brain surgery and I need brain surgery to help me hear, I will take it, whatever, I don't care. So then I get this hearing test done, and like, let me tell you guys, it hurt. Like, Satan's pitchfork was really twisting in there. So they put these earplugs in my ears, and normally they use headphones, but this time it was like earplugs. So like little cylindrical tubes, basically, and they jammed them in there as hard as they could, and I was like, ow. My ears are smaller, like my ear canals are smaller than most people, so like they don't fit well to one size fits all earplugs. So they put them in there, excuse me, and they're doing all the beeping and stuff, and they're just like, hold on, we're making some notes for the doctor. And I'm like, okay, what's happening? Are you noticing something? And they won't tell me anything. So I finally get done with the hearing test. I take the earplugs out, and like they're dripping with fluid. And I was like, yeah, see, that's not normal. And they're like, oh yeah, it is. That happens all the time. And I'm like, what kind of clinic is this place? Like, earplugs should not be dripping with fluid from someone's ears. Like, I just swam in a pond and the water is like dripping off. Like, that's not at all normal for like anyone. It's not earwax either, it's just fluid. So anyway, excuse me. So ENT number 10 basically said I was crazy, making it all up in my head. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm very healthy. I have good looking ears, beautiful ears, whatever. And so then I cried, and I spiraled down really hard that day. I was very upset. I was really, you know, contemplating the end, because I just, it's so much, guys. Like, it's mentally, it's a lot trying to deal with this, because he said I was crazy and that nothing was wrong. And I'm like, I know something's wrong. Like, this is not just something I'm making up in my head. Something is wrong with my ears. I don't know what, but something's not right. So I couldn't settle on a method to do it. I was like tired because I stayed up like super late, on the flight to come home. So I fell asleep, and then I woke back up, and I was like, okay, self, like, give yourself more time. Like, you're not thinking logically, you're tired, your brain is like angry. Like, give it time to process before you decide to like end your life. That was a difficult moment, because I really did wonder if something's wrong with my brain. Like, I was like, is something wrong with me mentally? Like, am I making this up? Because if I am, I would not choose this to make up. It would be something like, I don't know, I broke my leg and I would cut off my leg or something. Like, it would be dramatic. I wouldn't make it like I lost echolocation, because it's impacting my function of living. So anyway, long story short, so in the meantime, I got approved for a technology evaluation from Eastern Seals, which every state in America and the U.S. territories and most of the countries that are developed countries, excuse me. Some of the smaller ones might not have these, but every major country has their own assistive technology program. In America, it is mine in Indiana is run by Eastern Seals Crossroads in Indianapolis, and they will basically evaluate you for technology, and you can borrow technology from their assistive tech library. They loan it out to you. So I got approved from my vocative counselor to get some technology for my job, because I got the grant that was reinstated this past May. Was the job I was going to work last year, but I didn't get the job because the grant got taken away. But now it's back. I got the job, which I will explain in a bit on this video. So I got technology evaluation, and like, this lady was amazing. So I found out that I'm getting a hopefully, if OpenDev approves, a new iPad, which I don't have an iPad, so an iPad that has captioning, so I can do braille captions with Zoom, which I'm super excited about, because like, hearing wise, yay. It's been more of a struggle lately with Zoom. Even YouTube videos, I've been reading transcripts because my brain is tired of hearing noises. I'm getting hopefully some type of listening device that will help me hear students in class when I'm teaching a class, because the background noise is like super loud in the room that I'm in. And this was all without me having a diagnosis, by the way. I have no diagnosis, but Eastern Seals, they will work with voc rehab, but if they don't, you are still able to access their services without having to have a job or working in any type or form. So I got that figured out, so I'm waiting on the technology to come or to get approved for my job. My job is on a university campus. I will be assisting with a TRIO program, helping them find scholarships for their students, teaching some workshops and classes, and whatever else they tell me to do, honestly. Like, I don't know, I don't really have any specific role, because this is all new. I have to create it from scratch, kind of thing. So we're just kind of winging it, But the job is a bit away, so I get rides and everything. I pay for that. We don't have Uber. We have one Uber driver here, I think. So that's been a struggle mentally. Just, I have a job now. Like, it feels weird because I've been waiting so long, and like, I don't want to screw it up, Like, I want to make sure I've got it. And so like, day number 2, I cried for like 3 hours because, I cried at the job, and then I cried when I got home. It was just really stressful. Because the the portal that they were using was not accessible to me, and so I reached out to HR, and they were like, you need to reach out to your boss first, that's not appropriate. And I was like, but your website's not accessible, so I'm reaching out to you, because like you could fix it, and here's how to fix it. I told them how to fix it. And Beacon started barking at people, because where I'm at is kind of like an alcove, where there's like a hallway and there's an alcove, and then my room is in the alcove, so she can't see when people come. I don't know if she's seeing shadows because the way the light falls on people. So working through that, trying to figure that out with the barking, but it's not like severe. Like, she's okay. I think it'll take time. It's only our first week. We got time. Anyway, so fast forward to after I went to the ENT. I sent my PCP a message, and I was like, hey, this guy said this. Is he right, or am I right? Because he also said that ear infections are only for 3-year-olds. Other people don't get ear infections. And I was like, sir, I've had ear infections. My ears feel like Satan is twisting his pitchfork that's also lit on the ends with matches, and it's just grinding down into both of my ears. So like, that's not okay. Something's wrong. Even Quick Care, which is like our urgent care place here, they can see I have an infection. So like, I don't know. Anyway, so I messaged my PCP, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And so they wanted me to come in for an appointment last week. So I went. So today is Thursday. This was a week ago. My brain is trying to process. I think it was Thursday. Pretty sure. Anyway, so I found out that I have something called tympanosclerosis, which is calcium buildup on the eardrum and possibly the middle ear. They can't really tell that yet because they gotta do special MRI and stuff that we don't have here. So basically, it means that calcium is causes healthy bones. It makes them harder. It makes them more able to withstand pressure of, like, if I slam a glass down on my arm, it's not going to shatter because calcium is there to support that strength of the bone. Whereas if I didn't have calcium, if I slammed a glass down on it, it would just be like splitting apart, like a rotten piece of wood. A rotten piece of wood just kind of falls apart when you hit it with a hammer. So I basically have bone growing out of my ear, essentially. Like, it's not a full bone because we don't have all the things, but like calcium is in my eardrums because of the ear infections that have been untreated properly, and basically my eardrums stiffen. So essentially, if this goes untreated, I will lose my hearing completely because you can't hear if your eardrum doesn't vibrate. That's kind of the point. So I found out this whole time that I have lost echolocation because the eardrum, whenever you get echolocation, you have to have really high pitched sounds, and it's very subtle vibrations of the eardrum, tympanic membrane, if you want medical terms. And I'm not getting that because it can't vibrate freely like it did before. So that's why I've lost echolocation. A little bit of spatial orientation is gone. And if it goes untreated, it will get worse. But I'm waiting on a call from the people up north because we don't have that stuff here that can do all the surgery and stuff. But the surgery is either going to be, I will get better hearing than I do now because they'll scrape the calcium off, and my middle ear bones, which help you hear, will be repaired or set free because calcium, could possibly be holding them in place and not allowing them to move. I will have more drainage because, the drainage will actually work in my ears because the calcium is blocking the drainage of all the fluid in my ears as well. So that will help with that, hopefully. Or I could lose more hearing because my eardrums are both affected, and, I need those to hear. And, they can replace the eardrum with another kind of material. But, it's not going to be your natural eardrum, obviously. They can't just... I don't know if they can, actually. They might be able to. Take a cadaver eardrum and put it back in yours. I don't know if they can do that. Don't know how that works. I haven't looked it up because I don't really want to know. But I could lose my hearing even more and end up with hearing aids, which I think would be, sad, but also hilariously ironic because, this whole time I didn't need hearing aids. I wasn't qualified for hearing aids. I can hear perfectly fine. Nothing's wrong with me. To possibly going to, hey, you have something wrong with you. Here's some hearing aids to help you hear. It just blows my mind. So honestly, like if I do lose hearing, I'm like 20% okay with that, with hearing aids, because I won't have to struggle as much to function in society like I am now without hearing aids. Phone calls won't be terrible. I have to call people on certain days. Like if there's a certain day that I can't talk on the phone, I just don't talk. I don't talk to people, because I can't process what they're saying. It just sounds like, if you had a radio that was turned on, like I don't know if y'all listen to radio, like real radio. But if you have like the kind that had a little knob on it that you would change the station with a knob. So basically it was like when you're in between stations and stuff sounds muffled and you kind of get the word but not really, and it just sounds like random noise, but it's people's voices, it's people's voices, you just can't understand them. That's what it sounds like to me on the phone on bad hearing days. Or Zoom or any other like pick your platform thing. Sometimes even in person it sounds like that. Like if I've had a long day and I'm really tired, my brain is like static jumble noise. I don't know what that is. Like it's less crisp almost. So that was a long update, but that's my whole story. I'm waiting on the call from Indy to get these the referral and possibly surgery. I'm gonna strongly push for surgery because I don't want this to get worse. I don't want it to get worse. I don't want to have to struggle more and more until it gets to the point where they're like, we should probably do something, because like me as a blind person, I depended on my hearing for everything. So now that I'm losing it, it's hard to function because I can't hear where I am in space. So like I'm like running into stuff more. I get lost a lot easier now, which I'm learning to take in stride. It is what it is, but still challenging. So anyway, so that's my whole update with my life, and still going to occupational therapy, which is amazing. Highly recommend OT. They're helping with the balance. It's gotten better. I can walk up and down stairs without feeling I'm gonna fall, so that's progress. Yesterday I almost fell once because I was going down these stairs and my brain said walk and my foot said step down, and that didn't communicate, so I luckily had the rail in my hand, so I was able to stop myself from falling forward, but I was like, oh no, there's a step. So that was kind of a stumble, but luckily no one saw me, which is good. Hopefully no one saw me. But yeah, so that's my whole life update for now. I just want to make a video and discuss it, talk about it, see what's, let y'all know I'm not no longer looking for a job, which I'm very excited about, but also like it's weird. I'm learning how to find my identity with life because, this whole time I've been unemployed and I just feel like I'm not succeeding at my life, and now I have a job and it's like really hard. The job's not hard, but like mentally adjusting to it's hard. Just I'm in a new environment and I can't hear people's footsteps when they approach half the time. I don't know what the future is going to hold for me, if I'm going to need hearing aids or not. So it's an adjustment, and I'm learning to take it by stride. The nice part is I don't have to use earbuds for my laptop. I can have JAWS, speak out as loud as I need to. I can have my Braille display connected to my computer, which I do that a lot to have the supplement of the audio. And like my brain, I've had to take brain breaks because my brain gets tired of listening. So I just turn speech off and read with my Braille display on my computer. I don't use JAWS at all to interact with, the screen. I use JAWS because I turn the speech off, but like, I'm not interacting with the voice element of JAWS. Because I've noticed my ability to listen to things long term, and to not wear out my energy level. I can't listen to something for 6 hours straight. I need to have a break where I'm just reading Braille, so my brain can kind of still get the input of what I need to do, but also like breathe, So anyway, let me know if y'all want any videos about like just my experience with ENTs or getting the job, how I went about getting the job, and what I do for my daily job, like what kind of technology I use and stuff. feel free to comment that. I will do my best. I don't feel comfortable making a video of my workplace right now because I'm still got everything everywhere. I don't have like organizational things yet. I just got there on Monday, so it's been a long 3 days, and I only work 3 days a week. I do part-time. But yeah, so anyway, hope things are well with you guys. Sorry I've been absent for a while now. I just, making videos is a little bit more challenging now. It's, you know, I had to be in the right mental space to do it. But you know, we're doing pretty good. Beacon and I, you know, we're still working successfully, and I love for her working at my new job because she's so energetic. Like, it's crazy. I got a new dog. She's like, let's go find the water fountain in the restroom, and like she can find all the things, and she can find benches, and like we don't know outside the building yet because I got lost for half an hour yesterday trying to find the building. Like I was in the building, but I couldn't figure out which end of the building I was on because they mirror each other. So I walked around for like 20 minutes trying to find where the heck I was. No idea where I was. So I get kind of concerned when I go outside because I'm like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where anything is. Like, this is a new campus to me. Never been on this campus before. Just except for when I was in high school. I think we went for like a college visit. It's kind of close to me where I live in Indiana. But yeah, so anyway, hope things are well with you guys. Feel free to comment if you would like. Thank you for watching, of course, and apologize if my face is not in the camera view. I tried to adjust, but I don't know if I'm doing it correctly. So anyway, hope you all are good, and hope you're enjoying your summer.